Chapter 601, The Slaughter. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. The next morning, when the sun rose, rays of sunshine hit the surface of the glazed tiles, reflecting a golden glow. In Red Willow Heights, a large group of evil cultivators gathered outside Dark Blue Emissary's courtyard with gift boxes in their hands. Most of them were monks of Fish Dragon Realm and some were superiors of the Completion of Heaven Realm, the top figures of Red Willow Heights. Dark Blue Emissary opened the door and walked out. Looking at the evil cultivators waiting outside, he knew what they were here for, but he put on a sarcastic smile before deliberately asking, "Why did you come here?" Among them, an evil elder of the third change in the Fish Dragon Realm stepped forward. He smiled obsequiously. "We come here to pay our respects to you." Dark Blue Emissary laughed even more. Although he looked down on these people, he felt content. He raised his head arrogantly and loudly said, You are so snobbish, acting as the situation dictates. All of you have come to greet me. But who will greet Red Wish Emissary? How could you compare Red Wish Emissary to Dark Blue Emissary? She is just a woman. We won't have a prospective future if we follow her. Jigui slowly emerged from the crowd of the evil cultivators. With his hands clasped together, he bowed to Dark Blue Emissary respectfully. Red Wish Emissary will be leaving the Cyan Cloud County. From this point on, we need you to be in command of the God-Falling Mansion. Red Wish Emissary is too young, and she is also your junior. With Jigui as their representative, a large number of evil warriors started gathering around Dark Blue Emissary like a myriad of stars surrounding the moon. They flattered him with words of kindness to show their loyalty. They all knew that Red Wish Emissary had offended Yi, the young master of Black Market Excellence Hall. As a result, she lost all her powers and was forcibly dispatched back to the evil Emperor City. Would anyone who offended Yi have a good ending? People had been speculating that once Red Wish Emissary returned to the evil Emperor City, she would be under house arrest and might even face assassinated, risking dying an unnatural death. Besides a few evil warriors who were still devoted to Red Wish Emissary, the rest warriors were realistic. They understood very well how to survive. They had come to please Dark Blue Emissary to find a new patron for themselves. Everything in the world occurred because of profit. Who would stand on your side if you bring no benefit to others? Right at this moment, there was a commotion outside. Red Wish Emissary had gracefully walked into the courtyard with her hands behind her back. She looked around and said, "All of you come so early. What is this about? You're seeking refuge from Dark Blue Emissary this early. Aren't you afraid that I will be disappointed?" Zhang Yuochen followed behind Red Wish Emissary. Seeing this scene, he realized that in the black market, there was no doubt that only the strongest had the final say, otherwise, people around them would leave. Seeing Red Wish Emissary's sudden appearance, the evil warriors who circled Dark Blue Emissary looked scared and started stepping back one by one. Even if she had lost her power, they did not dare provoke her. Seeing those evil warriors intimidated, Red Wish Emissary could see their similarities to Jiang Shengming. She could only shake her head. Villains would always be villains, and they would achieve nothing. Jiang Shengming could not be deemed as a hero, but at least he was an ambitious man, much stronger than these evil cultivators. Seeing Red Wish Emissary, Dark Blue Emissary sneered and said, "I've been very tolerant and have given you one night to consider it. Now, shouldn't you be leaving Cyan Cloud County?" Unexpectedly, Red Wish Emissary nodded her head and said, "How can I disobey young master's order? I will return to the evil Emperor City today." Dark Blue Emissary laughed in his sleeve, thinking that after all, a woman was just a woman. "Young master knows of your ambitions. A trap has been set on the road to kill you. You are naive to want to go back to the evil Emperor City." He fixed his eyes on her seductive figure and charming appearance and felt a little pity. He wondered how it would feel to hold her in his arms for one night before she died. However, he was designated to manage the God-Failing Mansion and withdraw the force of the black market from the eastern evil land. Yi had arranged for other people to deal with Red Wish Emissary. Dark Blue Emissary was not sure who would load the dice against such a sexy and attractive beauty. Red Wish Emissary sighed and seemed to be a little lonely. She turned around to leave. Watching her back, Dark Blue Emissary felt somewhat desolate and forlorn. After taking 2 steps, Red Wish Emissary turned around. Her beautiful face had a sad expression on as she said, "I'll be going back to Evil Emperor City now." Dark Blue Emissary, won't you bid farewell to me? Seeing her delicate and charming appearance, Dark Blue Emissary felt lust rising from his lower abdomen. "I'm not a heartless guy, I'll see you off," said Dark Blue Emissary. There's no doubt that Red Wish Emissary is going to die on the way back to the Evil Emperor City. Why not take this opportunity and taste her first? I can kill her after enjoying her and then send her head to the young master in Evil Emperor City. I might even get credit for this. He did not dare to kill her in Red Willow Heights was because there were so many eyes and ears around. If the news was spread to her master Phantom Saint, Dark Blue Emissary would not be able to run from his wrath. However, if they left the Red Willow Heights and arrived in the wild, it would be easy for him to kill her, especially with his cultivation. As he walked behind her, he watched her slender waist and spindly legs move, and his lust became stronger. At midday, the sun was scorching like a furnace, making the air extremely hot and dry. Bang! A crescent-shaped swift boat, about 100 meters long, rushed up from the Red Willow Heights and gradually flew into the sky. The ship made a deafening noise as it soared into the sky, flying rapidly toward the northern sky. Only 7 people left with Red Wish Emissary, including some evil cultivators and Jiang Yuochen. All of them had reached the Fish Dragon realm. After flying for about 1,500 kilometers, the crescent-shaped boat entered a deserted mountainous area. Dark Blue Emissary stood at the edge of the swift boat with his arms crossed. He caught a glimpse of Jiang Yuochen and other 6 evil warriors. He shook his head and smiled, thinking to himself, there are still people who are willing to come to the Evil Emperor City with her. They must have been seduced by her beauty and lost their minds to have made such a silly decision. That being so, I'll kill the 7 people first. Swish. Dark Blue Emissary felt that it was the right time. He executed his movements all at once. He moved his legs and managed to rush away for about 33 meters, and he appeared beside an evil cultivator of the first change in the Fish Dragon realm and quickly slapped him. Dark Blue Emissary, how could you? The evil cultivator screamed. Obviously, he was not expecting the sudden attack from Dark Blue Emissary. With a bang, the evil cultivator's head was split into 2 like a watermelon. His bloody skull fragments flew to different directions before falling on the ground. A series of screams and cries were then heard as Dark Blue Emissary killed 6 people in just 2 breaths. Dark Blue Emissary wiped the blood stain in his hands as he glanced at the bodies. He sneered and said, "What a mess." However, he was shocked as he looked towards the ground again and counted the bodies. How could there be only 6 bodies? There should be 7. Where is the last one? Gosh. He had to be a master. Dark Blue Emissary's expression changed dramatically and his heart started throbbing rapidly, realizing that something was wrong. The person who disappeared under his nose must have been rather shrewd, and could not be matched by the 6 small potatoes on the ground. Boom. Silently, Jiang Yuochen appeared behind Dark Blue Emissary with the Thunder Pearl in his left hand and swiftly displayed level 1 Magic Arts Wind and Thunder Finger with his right hand. His slender middle finger radiated the light of Thunderbolt which hit Dark Blue Emissary at his back. The power of the Wind and Thunder Finger was not as strong as the second level Magic Arts, but it still boasted extreme speed, which was useful for surprise attacks. Dark Blue Emissary was caught off guard by Jiang Yuochen's attack. Thus Dark Blue Emissary was hit by the attack without any defense. Dark Blue Emissary was not easy to deal with. When he realized the situation was getting worse for him, he moved sideways to escape the blow. Puff. The strong power of Wind and Thunder Finger caused a bloody hole as big as wine glass on Dark Blue Emissary's back and his lower abdomen was also struck. Dark Blue Emissary's visceral organs in the lower abdomen were seriously injured and were burned black. Even with his injuries, Dark Blue Emissary had technically escaped the attack from hitting his spine. Otherwise, Jiang Yuochen's Wind and Thunder Finger would have cut off his body into 2 parts. How did he manage to escape the attack? Jiang Yuochen frowned slightly. Without hesitation, he immediately shot the second strike and displayed the second level Magic Arts Wrath of Thunder God, which condensed into an illusion of a 10-meter-tall thunderbolt giant. Howl! The thunderbolt giant let out an earth-shaking roar. He moved his arms to grasp an enormous thunder hammer, emitting streaks of lightning that abruptly hit Dark Blue Emissary's head. Dark Blue Emissary withheld the pain. With a slash, he drew out a huge sword from his back, rolled on the ground and then warded off the hammer with his sword crosswise. Boom! Assaulted by the thunderbolt giant, the over 100-meter-long crescent-shaped swift boat burst out with a loud bang, and was split into two. Next, two huge howls dropped from the cloud and then fell to the ground. The purple lightning was still thundering through the clouds while emitting cracking noises, creating a horrifying atmosphere. The second-level magic Atroth of Thunder God was indeed powerful. However, Zhang Yuochen could still see that when the thunderbolt giant used the thunder hammer, a pagoda-shaped shadow enveloped Dark Blue Emissary's body. Dark Blue Emissary must have equipped himself with an amulet treasure that helped him to fend against the thunderbolt giant's attack.